To be honest, your experience here tonight won't really make much difference to homelessness, but with the difference it makes will create a chain reaction, because solving homelessness and poverty is about small, consistent, incremental steps. We are a very proud people. We tend to blame ourselves for our dilemmas, but blaming poverty on the poor is like blaming a fetus for an abortion. There are many agencies and services specifically for people in poverty, yet many people feel shame, fear, and distrust social services. We are losing the war on the poor. My lifestyle was going to kill me, and I realised that. And fortunately, thanks to people like Rowan, Debbie, and the Auckland Street Choir, became a really important part of my rehabilitation to society. Because when you're on the street, you learn some really bad habits. I won't go into detail on that, but it's difficult to re-assimilate with moral society. My work suffered, my family suffered, and my mental and physical health suffered. Research suggests that any long-term spent rough sleeping takes 20 years off your life. I'm actually only 25. No surgery. Share what I call my E strategy. I call this engage, educate, empower, encourage. Homeless people feel disengaged from the moral majority. We have an entire community openly operating outside of the norms of laws of man, an unseen organised economy, political structure, and power players. We live in communities for a reason. There is a benefit to the individual, and there is a benefit to the community. There's an unspoken rule that if you're going to benefit from a community, you will contribute what you can to that community. And in the event that you're unable to, the community will support you. It's not okay to opt out. It's not okay to sit on the side of the street and hustle for change. Some of these hustlers are making up to $500 a day. The gangs are sending people out on the street to hustle for their subs, because I actually only learnt recently that gangs are like any other club. You've got to pay your dues. So when you're giving money, I'm not going to say don't. When you're giving money to people on the street, you're actually only continuing the problem, because we've got kids that are growing up in intergenerational, dysfunctional, traumatized families where their parents are working hard and still struggling. They see the gang members with their big flash cars and flashing around their money. So poverty becomes a fertile ground for thugs, drugs, and gang members. Changing behaviours and social patterns requires small, consistent increments of improvement. First, we must engage. Engagement can be as simple as smile. Remind rough sleepers that they are valid and deserve better than a blanket and a stoop. I'd like to see a task force established to engage with every person sleeping rough and ensure they are engaged with social services. We will never eliminate rough sleeping entirely. Some people like to live a life less lived. But if homelessness is a choice, it is definitely a choice of few options. I remember reading a graffiti message on a wall that read, "If home is where the heart is, are homeless people heartless?" When people are engaged, they start to learn. So education is our second E. People learn behavioural patterns by association. Drunks drink with other drunks. Addicts associate with other addicts, because our companions normalise our behaviour. So my third E is empower. Once people are engaged and educated, give them the tools they need to succeed. If a student needs a computer, give them one. If a single parent needs daycare, provide daycare. If a musician needs a guitar or drums, give them the tools. We've got a lot of impoverished people with skills and untapped talent. If provided the tools of their trade or profession, they will perform and prosper. So our final E is encourage. Encourage initiative. Encourage performers, artists, entertainers, writers, fighters, and productive enterprises with a like and a share of their social media, a cash koha, or just a smile.